The American landscape is still defined by gun control this week, while Britain's EU referendum vote is rocking Europe. Meanwhile, atheist and pro-LGBT women in Muslim countries are being put in serious danger by proud Twitter trolls. This is The Loop. First of all, you should know that we shot this video midday on Wednesday, as I'm currently at VidCon. I always aim to give you the most up-to-date information possible here on The Loop, and I apologize for the gap. For example, I'd love to talk about Great Britain's EU referendum vote, what many are calling the BREXIT. For those of you that don't know, the BREXIT is a vote to decide whether the United Kingdom should leave the European Union, the political and economic partnership between 28 nations that aims to create prosperity across the region. Since Prime Minister David Cameron's plan to change the terms of the UK's EU membership failed this year, half the country is anxious to leave the European Union. There are a lot of potential repercussions that occur if Britain makes its Brexit, one of which is the global trade industry. President Obama has said that the UK would be at the back of the queue for a trade deal should they leave, and it could take up to a decade to negotiate a new agreement, and because the US is currently the UK's largest export destination, this could spell trouble for their economy. I shot this video Wednesday when the world was waiting with bated breath to see what would happen in the vote on Thursday. Let me know what's going on down in the comments below, and I will do a full piece on the vote and its ramifications next week. Meanwhile, America is still reeling from the horrific attack on the Pulse nightclub almost 2 weeks ago. The Senate shot down 4 different gun control proposals this past Monday, leading Democratic senators to perform a sit-in early Wednesday. Again, I ask, so how'd that go? Everybody okay? I'm proud of the senators for making such a public, peaceful display for the cause of tighter gun legislation, but I also have to ask why? The Republican Party still controls the majority in Congress. Any future votes on the subject will likely have the same outcome as Monday's votes, which, for reference, 2 of them were proposals just to prevent suspected terrorists from buying guns. We couldn't even agree on how to make sure our collective enemies can't get their hands on weapons. You can read more about what each of these rejected proposals were in the Washington Post article linked below this video. However, no matter what's going on in Washington, it's easy to see that the Pulse shooting has struck a nerve among Americans, specifically gun buyers. For example, online gun store Hunter's Warehouse sold 30,000 semi-automatic AR-15 rifles in a 7-day period following the shooting, which is almost 3 guns per minute. To which I'm like, you idiots, if you wanted the same gun that was used in the Pulse shooting, you should have gotten a Sig Sauer MCX. As many very concerned people let me know for all of last week, that was the assault-style weapon that is not an assault rifle used in the Pulse shooting, not the Armalite 15 assault-style weapon that is not an assault rifle, right? The 2 weapons are completely different. I don't know how anyone could have mistaken one for the other. Yes, they're both highly customizable, easy to operate, lightweight assault-style weapons, but the MCX mechanically propels bullets out of its chamber, while the AR-15 uses a direct impingement system. The AR-15 uses .223 caliber ammunition, while the MCX can be modified to fire a wide range of ammunition calibers. The MCX has way more holes than the AR-15. It's different. It's different. But all jokes aside, people aren't buying more AR-15s because they thought that's what the shooter used. That's just wrong, okay? They're buying them because, according to an op-ed written by gun owner John Stokes on Vox.com, with the AR platform, a person with absolutely no gunsmithing expertise can buy 1 gun and a bunch of accessories and optimize that gun for the application at hand. You can even make the AR-15 into a pistol, to which I ask, why don't you just, buy a pistol, but I digress. Cops and civilians buy AR-15s because that 1 gun can be adapted into an infinite variety of sporting, hunting, and use of force scenarios by an amateur with a few simple tools. Amateurs like the shooters at Aurora, Sandy Hook, and San Bernardino, which were all carried out with the AR-15? Stokes elaborated on the customization aspect, saying, "In this respect, the AR-15 is basically a giant Lego kit for grown-ups." What? So, you're saying that this gun is like a toy for adults? Kind of like how this Nerf N-Strike ECS-10 blaster was reported as one of 2015's hottest toys in Time magazine? It's completely customizable, so any kid can buy 1 gun and a bunch of accessories and optimize that gun for the application at hand, whether it be pretend sporting, imaginary hunting, or fictional use of force scenarios. Fun. Tighter fun control is not what our country needs. What is America without fun? Fun isn't the issue, people are the issue. Fun doesn't thrill people, people thrill people. Okay? And finally, the Daily Beast reported that this past Sunday and Monday, Twitter trolls claiming to be from Middle Eastern countries began doxing and reporting pro-LGBT and atheist women who live in Kuwait to their government. Now, this goes beyond harassment, as being pro-LGBT or anti-Muslim can lead to prison time or even death in the nation, where blasphemy is a serious offense. One 16-year-old girl at the account Pharaoho on Twitter was the target of one troll at Old Gase, whose entire account consisted of the user, quote, reporting LGBT LGBTQ and ex-Muslims or harassing them until they deactivate, according to a Twitter user from Dubai named Afra quoted in the piece. The biggest issue facing these women is that Twitter has yet to take any action against old Gase or any of the other users harassing them. Back in February, Twitter launched the Twitter Trust and Safety Council meant to help protect users, but these women have largely been left unprotected. Hopefully, greater awareness can help protect future victims. So now I want to hear from you. How do you feel about the stories this week? What's going on with the Brexit? What happened with the sit-in? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will absolutely follow up on those stories this week when I'm back from VidCon. I'm Matt Lieberman, and until next time, you're in the loop. Thanks for watching. The Democratic National Committee just got hacked, and among the leaked documents is their 237-page report.
Before Paper Tools, I didn't know who I was. Thanks, Paper Tools.